Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning into JEDIOSHI. It's Tuesday, March 1st. Welcome to March. We made it. We're going to take a look at the markets. We're going to take a look at the world, see what's going on. We're going to dig into some charts. Please, before we get started, like the video. Please subscribe to the channel, and that would really help out. So, thanks, and let's dig in here. S&P under a little bit of pressure today. Market's under a little bit of pressure. Look at this is the daily chart. Check out, we closed below the EMA 8, or sorry, we're below the EMA 8 right now. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but just, as we're under a little bit of pressure, that is notable, right? So markets here on the equity side trying to find their trend, although they had been nicely, green, and then even yesterday turned green for the candle close. So under a little bit of pressure here, not surprising. Let's take a look at, that's pretty much it for equities. We've talked a lot about, a lot of other things, but let's look at Bitcoin. This is the daily chart. Big day yesterday as we were watching 5,500, almost 500 point day total close, 15% day. This was the largest. I'm pretty sure it held, but at one point it was the largest daily candle in a year, right? So big, kind of out there, standard deviation daily move out there on the bell curve. Nice to see this ignition. As trend lines go, we broke that, now we broke that, now we broke that. So good to see that for the bulls. This now is, in my book, this is a low and a higher low. So what we need to do to continue the uptrend is to make a higher high. So you have a low, a high, higher low, and you need to make a higher high. So that level here is levels to watch. Let's see, 46K. We talked a lot about that. We flipped 46K, and I think we get our measured move up. And as we're following the fractal, and we looked at that yesterday, we'll take a look again. If that plays out, and we'll talk about levels and timing, but we could see a move like that, right? So could stay pretty exciting. Yesterday was very exciting. We saw some altcoins even moving up big. I know UMA, I don't even know what UMA is. UMA was up some 120, I think, percent from the bottom. And you're starting to see some things pop off. Relatively good day. We had a lot of double-digit gainers yesterday. We were going to take a look at XRP today. I want to show you that fractal. I showed you that on the kind of the zoom in, but I'll show you where the target is on that. The fractal for Bitcoin, we're following this 5.5 month fractal. We did overrange it yesterday, so note that. So a cool off to kind of this topping point here, or this level, I would not be surprised. I drew it kind of in here, this area. So I mean, that is the bottom of that. But if we cooled off to, I don't know, I think we just kind of range chop. And but yeah, could we come down to 42 or so? Yeah, we could. Sure, anything's possible, right? But I think, this is what we talked about yesterday as far as like consolidation before the next move up. I honestly, this morning it looked like we were kind of going for it with the new high here. But then we pointed out, this is, let me blast that, but so this is a higher high and lower RSI, right? And that's kind of our classic structure for higher high on lower RSI. And we have broken this down. I was looking back to try to see how significant this breakdown is, because I was just thinking, have you ever seen a breakdown here that hadn't resulted in a price breakdown? And I went back to this time frame here about 2 weeks ago, middle of February. This RSI broke down and we went sideways, at least for a while, until we did break the ledge here. Kind of zoom in. Let me zoom in on that. So let's zoom in on these two periods. We'll keep the fractal, but this RSI broke, price broke. See that? Price breaks down on an RSI break. See that? So that's just a cool off, you know, that's kind of a cool off sideways. But then this period, we had the RSI break here, but we held for a while, at least the ledge, until we broke down. So I'm looking at this. Let me show you guys on lower time frame. Actually, let me switch my chart up a little bit, make it clean. I am looking at this level here to hold. Let me do the candle bodies. So I'm looking at that level to hold. If it doesn't, we might come back to, say, 42K, or maybe on the bottom side of this. Let me do that. So if this level breaks, let's say if we close an hourly candle at 43.3 and start heading down, I do need to close below here, and then confirmation will be below this wick point here, but close an hourly candle here, get confirmation, and I think we could come back to see 41.6. I also think that I think that yesterday was statistically out there on the distribution, and we decoupled from the equities market. It does look to be that we're kind of back to track in the equities market. So if S&P has some pressure, if Dow Jones, whatever, equities have pressure or fall under pressure, I could see Bitcoin falling under a brief period of pressure here. You know, well, like I said yesterday, I think we follow the fractal more than we do anything else. So I would expect this to be a little short-lived. We'll consolidate here, and then another leg up. So notice how this level, I'm gonna zoom out. Notice how this level is similar to this, or very, very close to, or that would make sense, right? For that to be a support resistance level. So it's resistance, resistance, broke it, support, 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 held, bounce, finally breaks it. And now we did break through. It didn't take a lot to break through. And this was at 42-ish K. It didn't take a lot. Could we come back to 42? You know, I think it's likely. So we'll watch that. I think if that happens, watch this. I think we could kind of break down and then test. So as we measured the fractal, I think we have a couple days of sideways, at least a couple days of sideways here, and possibly a test here at 41.7. So let's watch that. 41.7 on Coinbase. We'll watch that level. Not surprising after you have a $5,000+ day to get a little bit, to give some back, right? Not surprising at all. Look, RSI broke down. Price could follow. However, it doesn't have to. That's why we wait for confirmation on candle close. So wait for confirmation. Yes, we are below the hourly 8. See that? Or we were, but we didn't close it. No, we did. Okay. So yeah, that's just, you know, these are the signs and signals that you look for in the lower time frame. Even the hourly is you look for, okay, we got a candle close. Now we're printing this. You know, the low of the candle did come to about the low of this candle. So I want to see a close here to indicate we might move. It's about 1,000 points down. I say points, it's dollars, whatever. But yeah, you get it. So that's kind of it for Bitcoin low time frame stuff. I think we're going to cool off for a day or two is my most likely scenario. Tracking equities, and we'll see what equities are going to give us in the next day or two. But yeah, don't be surprised to see sideways or a little bit of pressure here on Bitcoin. I think that translates to altcoins. I don't think altcoins are ready to go yet. We did see some stuff as we were getting impulsive early this morning. We did see some moves up. Where we saw some continued moves up. So the market wants to move. When it moves, you're seeing alts go with Bitcoin, which is promising, which is what you'd expect to see for kind of a start of a run. So without further ado, let me show you what I was looking at on XRP, right? So this is what's exciting and why I added to my XRP position last night. It's a strategic add kind of in this general area down here for me, expecting us to make a move. I think the month of March is going to be good for us. So strategic add. I kind of teased you guys last night with a fractal from back here in 2017. But let's look at 2017's action, right? Right before the move. What did it look like? We were ranging sideways, consolidating, and we were making higher lows. So I have to go back. I haven't studied this chart a ton, but I guess you could say we're making higher lows maybe on the macro. That held at 55 cents in January, held above 52 cents. So it is a higher low. So that needs to hold for structure. And we needed to break up. So, but what was interesting to me, and this isn't my work, guys. I stole it from our boy. Let me give credit to blockchain backer, right? Just he's a fractal guy. He's a fractal master and does really good work. So yes, I'm stealing his work, but it's just data, and we need to be aware of it. So if you haven't seen that, then we're seeing it here. So I'm on the 4 hour. I'm going to go back to 2017 before the run, this data right here. And I did this, I think it was on the 4 hours. Let me just try. I'm gonna show you guys when I copy paste this data. Go to the bars pattern. I'm gonna copy this past the top. Okay. So then what I do is I bring it all the way over to current. And you can do Control X to cut and then Control V to paste. But I just normally scroll it. So this is a little challenging, but I had to pull it down to expand it, I think. Watch this. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to match, see this high and this low. I'm trying to show you guys. Sorry. I want to show you guys what this looks like. And see if sorry guys, I should have tried this before, but I'm just trying to match this range. Because when you look at it, you're like, okay, we had this chop, we had a drop, and we kind of came up, and we had a little bit of chop, and then we basically, right after that, we just exploded. And it's, if for nothing else, it's worthy of looking at, because there's a lot of things in the chart. All right, now I went too big. Sorry. Basically, I'm just trying to match this top and the bottom, right? So I'm trying to match this range. That's good. Okay. So when you zoom in, so this is current data. This is 2017. When you zoom in, basically I'm trying to match this top range with the bottom range. It's close. It's pretty close. I'm not going to stretch it too much. But yeah, so what does this give you? So this was the finishing move in 2017. High, low, lower high, higher low, kind of in this wedge. We kind of wedged down for the finishing move, and then we just exploded up. Granted, you had market conditions very favorable to the bulls. We were running, and Bitcoin was printing, everything was printing. XRP was kind of hanging out back there, and then just launched. So we're looking for a measured move up and out of here. Is what we're waiting for. And the target on this, I mean, the way I drew it last night, I got the 12, right? So you can stretch this. Watch, I can stretch this. So it's subjective, right? So you can stretch it around. You get up here. Let's just say north of 10 or 12. Okay. So let's go back to the daily. What I do here is take a fib, measure the fib from, this is on ground cycle, right? Because I'm taking the high here at the top back in 2017 or 2018, whatever, and to the bottom, and then measuring up. So 1618's at 531. The golden zone, I'd say, is about $6. And then you get up here to 3618 at 1177, and then 4236 is at 1377. This is where a lot of people call for that $13 level, right? Up here. That's what people call for 13. There are levels up. I mean, if you want to look at, 8s and 13s, 13's at 42, you have 25, 21, or whatever. But these are, the fib extensions that I'm watching are, obviously we have to move up out of here. Let's break 80 cents here before we start talking about $13, right? But let's break 80 cents. Let's break this high at at $2. Let's break the old all-time high at 333, and then I think we move up. We'll watch these fib levels as we do that, if this happens. I think that there's a decent chance that happens. I like the chart. I like where it sits in the chart. I added last night, seeing strength in crypto, seeing strength in Bitcoin, liking the moves up, and kind of confirming our old bottom, to me anyways. And then seeing this fractal. Boy, doesn't that look, doesn't that look similar? So you have a high point, and then a fade down to a low point, a bounce back up, back down, and then you shoot up. So we'll see. It looks really good. What else? I mentioned UMA a little bit yesterday. This is the daily. Let's look at the hourly. This is UMA. So out of nowhere, this thing yesterday afternoon just launches north, right? So, I don't even know what UMA is, whatever, but it found liquidity, and liquidity hit it, and it just launches. And what I mentioned to you guys was, this can happen to any asset, any coin at about any time. It just goes straight up. These are relatively, or nearly impossible to predict, because it's kind of a rogue wave, if you will, of liquidity. Natural TA and charting, you can probably get levels and such, but you wouldn't be able to actually predict that this would happen, in my opinion. If you find somebody that can, please let me know. I'd love to have that skill. But to predict a rogue wave, a straight move up, just a slug of liquidity, is, in my world, is really pretty impossible. But it can happen, and this is what you see a lot in different assets that just go straight up. Waves caught liquidity yesterday. So we'll see. Last thing I wanted to, let's look at one last thing. Okay, we'll see if this we'll see how this candle closes on the 1 hour. It's at 40. Yeah, can we hold 43? That's a good question. I think if we don't, then I think our next level down is at least 42, maybe 41.7 or so. And I think it might take a day or two to play out. So those are my thoughts. We'll see how it plays out. One thing that did pop up is CME Group is going to offer micro crypto options after introducing futures. So this was released this morning and on CoinDesk, and talks about the CME Group releasing options, and these are micro options on Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are going to be released on March 28th. What's interesting, what struck me with that was when you go back to the fractal pattern, and let's see if this is it. Let's pull it up on the daily. Back to the fractal pattern. And where is March 28th? What, right here? It makes perfect sense. Right here. This is where options are going to be introduced. Great. Let's take it. On the chart breakdown, let's buy some puts. Right there. Write it down. If the fractal still holds to this point, I'll be shocked. I've never seen something hold for as long as this has. At least to hold structure, right? We've been seeing a little bit of deviation from it, but it's been playing out. Talked a lot about that yesterday. So that's about all I had for today. We'll watch and see what we have, what happens. One eye on equities, as we always have. But let's watch some of these levels and see if 43K doesn't hold. Then I think, yeah, we'll cool off to maybe 41 or 42 in the next day or two, right here. So we'll watch that. But the conditions are looking good, on signals, and it looks like the market's getting hot again. Great day yesterday again. But that's it. So again, thanks for watching the video. Please like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. We're here almost every day covering markets. doing analysis, trying to help people learn how to read charts, how to get comfortable with that, do our own analysis, and also think like traders and do some trading. Be successful in any market. So have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow for the live stream. Thanks.